Congratulations, you're seeing the glory of God. Congratulations, He has done it for you, and you will come back with a...
My name is Pastor Christopher Ime. I joined the Redeemed Church of God and as a worker in 1999. As a mechanical engineer, I worked with Coca-Cola Company PLC. Immediately, I finished school in 1998. I was with them until I gained admission to Petroleum Training Institute, Warri, where I studied mechanical engineer. Immediately I finished, I started working with Pivot Engineering Company. Later moved to West African Logistic and Engineering Services till 2008. In 2008, October to be precise, I received a call from my zonal pastor then that my name had been penciled down to be a minister. I declined, but they persuaded that I should just go and see what they're doing there. If I'm interested, I can go ahead. When I got there, the conference was massive. I love everything. So, by the grace of God, on Saturday, the 19th of October 2008, I was consecrated as an altar minister in the Redeemed Church of God this spring, Rivers Province 4. After that encounter, I had a dream suggested to me to resign my appointment in the company to be a full-time ministry. As a matter of fact, it was a laughable idea. It was a very big shock to me. How will I live what I've labored for years? And apart from that, I had the intention of contesting an election in 2011 as an House of Assembly member in my state. I've started the structure already from school and from home, but the pressure was just too high on me. And so when I came back on holiday for December 28, I did not go back to work again. In January, I got back and took all my entitlement. That's how I abandoned the secular job. The journey started, and then I was the resident pastor of Restoration Zonal Headquarters in Ahoda. But when I came back, the Lord said I should move to a remote area, Ekpena, where the church had been abandoned for several months, and that He will prove to me that He actually called me. So I had no choice. I took my wife and I moved to the place. The place was locked. No member, nobody, no land, no instrument. The church was closed down in the community town hall. So we moved in there. Surprisingly, within a few months, we had tremendous encounters. Attendance increased from 0 to 70 something. We had a land, our own permanent land. We built a structure of the church. The church was just growing rapidly. By the grace of God, in 2011, I was promoted to be area pastor and was moved from City of Faith Parish to City of Prayer in Ogbo. Before then, I was ordained a deacon in 2010 during the annual convention in Lagos. We are there in the City of Prayer. By the grace of God, God was so just massive with us. We are doing the work. When we got there was no structure also. God just moved in. Within 6 months, we were able to raise the structure to roofing level. And in 2014, also, I was transferred from City of Prayer, Ogbo, to Divine Grace area in Obite. And gotten there, the work, the Lord was so great. We developed the structure, built a student church, buy some musical equipment. Within 6 months, we are moved from Divine Grace Obite to Children of God area quarter in Omok. When we got there, the job was massive because the building was almost falling. But God, in His infinite mercy, raised money from the north, south, east, and west, proving Himself to be a great God. And in 2016, January to be precise, we had a leading that same year that the church should be dedicated. I remember vividly when I got to my provincial pastor to say, Daddy, the Lord said we should complete this house and dedicate. He said, others are talking about running from Omok, because at that time the crisis in Omok was massive. And I'm talking about dedicating a house. I said, well, that is what God laid in our heart. And to the glory of God, the house was completed with massive structure. And in July, the church was dedicated by Pastor Benimina Obonge to the glory of God. And the next 2019, we are transferred from that place to the Redeemed Christian of God, Beautiful Gate at Okposi. We got there also. God moved mightily with signs and wonders, with cooperation from the church. We also started the structure that was there. I remember vividly during the lockdown in 2020, while others were experiencing lockdown, we are busy building the church. And to the glory of God, that same year, the church was dedicated to the glory of God by the general pastor, Pastor David Adewi. And after that, immediately we were transferred to Favor Palace in 2021, where we are right now. It has been a journey so great. And within these years, we have met so many persons that have been of great assistance to us. The issue of the challenges cannot be removed. The challenges there and there, some attacks there and there, but God saw us through. Sometimes we'll be stranded, almost stranded, but God will always show up at the dying time and prove himself that he actually called us. With strength can no man prevail. The work have been God and God and God alone. When it looks as if the economy is shaking, God will want to show himself that he's the one that have called us. He's the one that will be doing the work by himself. As part of the assignment, the Lord also led us to have a program. He said, while others will be doing their birthday, celebrating, yours is different. You need to be going out every November for an outreach. And the outreach was in 5 segments. One, he said, is a regular crusade in the field. 2 is football match between the church and the host community. 3 is medical outreach, where free medicals will be carried out, free reading classes, free tests, laboratory tests, and so many of it. 4 is for any community. You go in, you must pray for the council of chiefs and the chief. So we have been doing that every year since 2012. I know when we started that very year, 2012, it was the year of the first flood in this environment. So we are confused. But the venue that the Lord chose, even for November, the venue that the Lord chose, eventually became the IDP camp. And so the crusade was just massive. Everything. God was bringing money. We don't know as full timer where we get the money from. But God will always bring people that will bring the money every November for the crusade. We spend hundreds of thousands of naira for this outreach, free medicals, item of equipment, and so on. The 5th segment, is that during the crusade, those that will give their life to Christ, if they are handicapped, if they don't have what to do, we have to register them into any trade, either barbering salon or hairdressing or tailoring. And God, we have been doing it consistently. God has been helping us. We have so many people that we are